catch Santa Claus down the road.
Yeah, that's something. Yeah, there's Christmas decorations that are up now. You know, people are getting ready for the holidays. And the thing, though, is with this system, is that, I mean, we had some breezy weather even leading up to today. I mean, it was pretty breezy for the last couple of days. I mean, it was noticeably windy.
From our friends in Nashville at Channel 2, WKRN, they are posting some pretty incredible photos from Clarksville, Tennessee, of tornado damage there. Pretty incredible stuff. So to me, that looks like most likely EF2, possibly low-end EF3 type damage from there. Oh, so Darius, can you
See if I can pull this up.
We have some footage of the tornado itself that came through the Old Stone area down by the Twin Bridges and Fillmore Park. In that particular area, Old Scottsville Road. We're going to try to pull that up and put it on screen. So give it a second here. Yeah, so we have a lot of people that have picked up that video. It's starting to go around now.
At the what, the La Quinta?
La Quinta Inn.
Yeah, La Quinta Inn.
Okay.
So, just seeing the kind of same reports that we've been hearing, and then there's obviously going to be additional reports as well.
Okay, so while we're in the process of pulling that video up, as you're looking at the radar, the concern is while we're staying with this, and all the warnings are down. Let's see, if we could come back to the wall for just a minute, me at the wall. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Connor, who's at the controls. He has been working with us all afternoon to make sure we get the coverage on. And so here we go. This is what I want to show you, is that we still have all of this that's down around the metro Nashville area and moving northeast back into, it looks like it's going to move back into parts of Simpson and Allen counties, back into Warren County. There is what was the tornado warning, which is now expired. It has become a severe thunderstorm warning up near the Caveland area of I-65 to the north, and all of that is moving out of the News 40 viewing area. We still have a line back here to the west of us from Hopkinsville up to about, well, it looks like about Madisonville. No, actually, Beaver Dam, Hartford, that would be 165. There we go. It's just, I had to get in a little bit closer on that so I could see. Yeah, there we go. And still some very heavy rainfall, but notice with that line, there are no warnings at all with this. It's just a lot of heavy rain, because you got to remember now where we are here in southern Kentucky, the atmosphere is now really overworked. It has been way overworked with all of this rain and thunderstorm activity. So that's good for us. So as the second line.
I was curious what that play would have looked like. It looked like
Okay, 40's on.
Running back pass. Second and goal coming up. Pass is incomplete to Galbraith. But it was a great game. Great game.
Be in the clear of all this, but the concern is further south. We have these new warnings that are coming up from about Springfield, west of Nashville. Those are still very potent, but those storms are going over territory that has not been overworked. So there's a lot of potential energy down here in northern middle Tennessee, and that's why those tornado warnings are holding together, whereas when they try to move up into where we have already been overworked with storms and a tornado confirmed, then there's less of a threat here. But I still do not, there's that part of me that's like, do not let your guard down even over the Bowling Green area, because I'm not worried so much about this line. I'm worried about this stuff.
Got a warning coming across, guys.
Still could potentially produce something in the form of, in the way of a tornado.
Yeah, and it continues to work its way northeast. I have that image that was shared with us, and this is courtesy of this is from Doug Martin, who sent this in to weather at WNKY.com. By the way, if you have any photos that you do want to share, be sure to send those in to weather at WNKY.com. But that is...
There it is.
You can see the funnel, and you can see...
The base of the thunderstorm, and then the lowering of the wall cloud, and then you have the actual wedge. This is a wedge-shaped tornado. And it is wrapped, looks like, in a lot of rain. But that's a pretty good-sized wedge. I don't know how wide it is, but that is confirmation, indeed.
And where is that? Near the
Old Stone
area.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was shared with us to weather at WNKY.com. And again,
Yeah.
if you have anything to share.
My goodness. Now, that, for those of you who don't know where that is, as you go out of Bowling Green, you go down 231, follow here, 231 south. Yep, we go 231, there we go. Come on down, yeah, go south.
Sorry.
Push it to the north, yeah. Push it to the north, no, go north, no, I'm sorry, go south.
South, there we go.
Yes,
Okay.
go past Greenwood, you're driving down 231, Scottsboro Road, keep going, you go past Plano, and here comes the river. Yeah, here you go, Scottsboro Road. It's going to be right in this particular area, just before you get to Alvaton. It's right in there where Old is, right on the river, just almost on the river. There's Guy Ford Road, so you go down just a little bit from there, and that's where the Fillmore Park is. There is Old Stone. So that's where that picture came from. And that's where that, we were tracking that cell, that tornado, that confirmed tornado as it went through there. But all is clear now. All you're getting around Plano and these areas is still some light shower activity. We're not getting the strong to severe storms. You occasionally are going to get some shower activity, but all the tornado threat is over, even though we still may get some of these showers pulling back in here. These are just kind of residuals, leftovers, if you will. And that's going to continue for at least a couple more hours until we get the cold front in here. And Darius, I don't know if you can show Mesonet. Maybe through the Mesonet we can see where the cold front might be. I would say it's probably just a little bit west of Bowling Green. There it is. So there we go. So you see how we're in the really warm sector of the 60s, mid-60s, and now we're starting to see temperatures falling off into the 50s from Madisonville to Calhoun to Greenville, Hartford. What that means is stability. After we've been worked over with these severe storms and tornadoes, now we're starting to get a more stable air mass back to the west, and there's the cold front. It's a big cold front.
That's a big one.
It's a huge
I have
cold
no
front.
idea.
Yeah, it's like, what is this thing about to attack us? It's a cold front. Not to worry, folks. So as it comes on in, our temperatures are going to start to cool from west to east, and the air mass becomes more stable. So even though there's still a line or two of showers back here, none of those are severe because the instability level now has come down, and that's good news for everybody. But we're still not completely out of the woods just yet, guys.
Yeah, new report came in about severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern Barron and northwestern Metcalfe counties has been canceled.
Good news.
Although the tornado watch still remains in effect until 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for South Central Kentucky.
And that tornado, that tornado warning continues for Robertson County until 4:45, and that's where that same cell we've been watching that is held together pretty well. But remember, from about the Tennessee border down into the Nashville area, northern middle Tennessee, that's an area that hasn't been worked over yet by the storms. So it's got a lot of potential energy to feed off of, and that's why those storms keep going.
I have some images that I'm able to share from our very own Tommy Modesto.
Okay.
He's shared this via X,
Tommy on the town,
formerly known as Twitter, but you can see where he is at the Super 8.
Yeah,
Cumberland
there it is.
You can see the damage there to the roof.
Okay, there we go. Yes. So this again is going to be over at Mel Browning Road and near the Greenwood Mall. You see Super 8 there. This is I think Super 8's on. This is the back of Super 8 on Cumberland Trace.
Yes.
Okay. And so you have the Cumberland Trace apartments back there in the background. All of this is the roof damage coming off of that particular hotel and just kind of thrown back in the woods there. So, yeah, that's what you're looking at that point. So that's kind of a little bit down the street from where we were talking about Cracker Barrel and that particular area, but definitely a lot of damage, a lot of pictures now coming in from that same area, Cumberland Trace and Scottsville Road, and then across Scottsville Road would be over toward where Cracker Barrel and some of the other hotels are, where some of the damage has taken place. What about the winds? Can you pull up the winds real quick?
Yes.
Let's take a look at that. Look at that Hartford at 28 miles per hour. Pretty good gust of wind there. Glasgow at 23. But the winds have been coming out of the south. We're going to see a wholesale change in the wind now from the west and from the northwest as that front, which is west of us, begins to cross over. So the wind still may pick up at a pretty good pace over the next several hours and through tonight, but these will be cooler winds. The temperatures are going to drop pretty dramatically tonight and tomorrow, and we still could have some showers in here. So don't worry about these gusts back here to the west. This is all way behind the severe weather, and so we're not calling for any kind of wind damage. You may get a gust of wind now and then, but other than that, it's not going to be a big problem. How about we take a look outside? Our AAA Systems Live weather cam from downtown Bowling Green, the only one in downtown Bowling Green. And you can see how the winds are kind of cupping some of the clouds here and giving it that little bit of a roll. That still means we've got some stronger upper winds. Some of that has transferred down to the ground, but thankfully today, those winds, some of the updrafts did not go up and grab some of the really strong winds and bring them down to the ground, or we may be looking at a lot of wind damage here, but we're not looking at that today. What we're seeing is occasionally there's some gusts of wind, especially around that tornado, that confirmed tornado itself, of course, doing the damage, but we have not seen or heard of any real paths of damage or any kind of long-term, long-scale wind damage per se. That has not happened today, which is good because we kept those upper winds up here instead of bringing them down to the ground, and I think that saved us from having any other problems, guys.
It definitely did. Unfortunately, of course, we had the tornado warnings that went through, but definitely would have been more of a destructive situation when you consider those winds diving down.
So where are we now with that sale that's in Robertson County? Let's take a look at that.
Let's track that out.
I want
And
to see how close it's getting. I don't want to prolong anything here if it's not
so
warranted.
this is, I mean, and then this is close, I mean, to Simpson County.
Picked up a lot more lightning.
Yeah, so Auburn, you're picking up on some activity again here. As you can see, this is the eastern part of Logan County. There's Russellville. You're going out 6880 into the Rockfield community. That black line right there is the Warren County line. So heavy rain and strong thunderstorms here again. Have you looked at velocity on this one, Darius?
There.
It's not impressive.
No, it's not impressive
It's
at all.
not. It's not very tight. There's broad rotation there. But again, this is going into an area that's already been overworked from the previous storms, and so we may not see something develop there, but there may be something there that we'll just keep an eye on for right now. But really, what you're getting is a lot of lightning and a lot of very heavy rain. You could also be getting some small hail there in Auburn as you travel along 6880. In fact, there's some of the hail signatures showing up, and it's on the lighter end or the possible small pellet type stuff that's going to probably get on your vehicles and things like that around the Auburn area. But beyond that, this does not look that impressive at all. The more impressive cells are down in the middle Tennessee and moving off to the north and east. Springfield, Greenbrier, you're going down to the Rivergate area. Everybody knows where that is. And then there's Metro Nashville. Still under that, you see the purples there indicating by our radar that there's the real possibility of a tornado that's going to cross into the Metro Nashville area. Everything north of that is now running into those areas that have already been overworked in the atmosphere from heavy rain, strong winds, and thunderstorms. And that's what's happening with this line back toward Hopkinsville and stretching up toward Morgantown. This is already beginning to meet up. This line is slowing down. This line to the west is speeding up, and the two are going to meet up at the same place, maybe even over Bowling Green, bring us another round of showers and thunderstorms. But in this case, it doesn't look severe. There are no warnings with that, and that's because we've had just so much activity right here in southern Kentucky, and that confirmed tornado that really worked over the atmosphere, and now we're starting to get a more stable atmosphere as the cold front catches up with all of this activity out ahead of it. And now once that happens and these two come together, you'll see less of a severe weather threat and maybe more of a heavy rain threat and maybe even some flash flooding, as there's a lot of moisture to work with out here. So that's the way it looks right now, and you guys are seeing that as well, I'm sure.
Yes. And still, Forrest, keeping a close eye on the Robertson County, Tennessee
right there.
Storm there that, as it continues to work northeast, could impact portions of Simpson and perhaps Allen County.
So any new reports have come in? I mean, those photos and videos have been impressive.
Definitely.
I know the tornado watch is now being shaved off back to our west. They just took Todd County out of it, so it's starting to get a little bit closer now so they took, that's Todd County right there, Elkton. They've taken out Muhlenberg County, McLean County, Calhoun, but where you see the red shaded areas, that's still the valid tornado watch through 7 o'clock. And then the new tornado watch out east of that goes till 11. And that's going to take in most of southeastern Kentucky and the Cumberland Plateau, but that's out of our viewing area. But here, our immediate WNKY News 40 viewing area, a lot of that back edge is being shaved off, and as you saw, it's because the temperatures are coming down, stable, drier air is starting to work in here behind this system, and so these are not intense thunderstorms. A lot of this is just heavy rain. The intense stuff is still down into middle Tennessee.
That is where most of the energy is, and then, again, a lot of the storms just developing behind, just kind of backfilling, like training, all the way down into Mississippi as well. And this, look at these severe warnings.
South,
it goes all the way through, say, there towards Arkansas. it seems all the way up through Tennessee there.
Yeah, it's going to be a long night for anybody from, say, south of Nashville down to Huntsville, Alabama, into northern Mississippi. This area has not been worked at all by the atmosphere, and all day, some of these locations have seen a lot of sunshine today through the clouds, and so the instability factor is highest once you get south of Nashville and really east of Nashville. But I think because we've had a lot of cloud cover from Bowling Green to Glasgow and even out toward Somerset, and those locations even up toward Campbellsville and Columbia and on a 65 to E-Town, where we've had rain already and these strong storms, everything is becoming more stable now, and there's less of an environment for additional tornadoes. And I was just scrolling through some of my comments and some of social media, and it's like, is this place going to get a tornado? Is that place going to get a tornado? And it's many of you that are east of Bowling Green and east of I-65 that is asking that question. The answer is it's still questionable, it's still possible, especially once you get up into, say, Allen County, Barron County, Monroe County, Metcalfe County, Adair County, and so forth and so on. this has not been worked over by any of these storms just yet. But your saving grace right now, if there is a blessing in disguise, is that we're getting to sunset and we're getting close to nighttime. And so naturally, a lot of this will begin to die off. Plus, as I mentioned, that cold front is sitting right here back toward Hopkinsville. And so it's catching up with all of this prefrontal activity. And so once that happens, it forms one big line. We get into nighttime, and then everything just becomes rain and thunderstorms and less of a tornado threat. But until that time, this is why we don't let our guard down, because there's still a tornado warning just barely south of the Kentucky border. And that's something we need to watch, especially for you guys watching us in Franklin and Simpson County at this point.
Yes, and the latest with this storm in Robertson County, Tennessee, as they have just now issued a new tornado warning there that does say confirmed.
That's confirmed.
It's
Yeah.
just bordering Simpson County.
Yeah, Robertson and Sumner County until 5 o'clock. New tornado warning. And so this even takes in the Portland area and on up to just south of the border, up toward the Mitchellville area. We'll zoom in on it. There's Mitchellville, there's Portland. And so you see this purple shade. The reason why that's all purple shaded there and flashing in red, the flashing in red indicates a tornado warning. The purple color indicates this is a confirmed tornado. And again, this is coming over an area that has not been worked over by the storms. Plenty of available convection and energy. There's potential energy always in these type of situations. And so with the available energy, we've got territory that hasn't been hit yet with anything, and it's ample breeding ground for these rotating storms. So if you live from Mitchellville to just south of Franklin along 31W, there's 65. You know, there's the Kentucky Downs area right in there. Anywhere in that area, you need to be on the watch, because it's this cell coming out of Springfield or Linda, Cross Plains, coming across 52 and 25, and even up 65 and 31W and 109. As it heads to the border, that's where you need to be aware that a confirmed tornado is headed that direction.
We've got a storm that's crossing over here into Warren County, downtown Bowling Green, but no severe warning.
Yes, heavy rain, we can hear.
Heavy rain that we are getting, and some lightning.
Yeah, I caught some on the live cam.
Let's take a look at the live.
I heard that. It's